Okay, hello guys. This is Ehis, and we've been on a series called the 8 mindsets the very wealthy investors have that allows them to accumulate great wealth, right? So we talked about the first mindset, which is protect your money. Always protect your money. Is a mindset. It's not just it's not just a good advice. It's a mindset that enables great wealth, right? It's a mindset that you must inculcate if you plan to be wealthy in any way, in any form, right? It's very, very important. The first one is, yes, protect your money. The second one has to do with risk management and how to apportion your money and money management, how to apportion your money in such a way that you decrease your risk and then you increase your returns. You maximize your returns and you minimize your risk. All right, so that's what that is all about. Then in the today we're going to be talking about the third mindset, which is the very rich investors get rid of the instant gratification mindset. Instant gratification mindset. So they always look at mid to long-term investments, long-term approach to investments. They always have this mid to long-term approach to investments, right? So now think about it. Think of any rich investor that you know, any rich businessman that you know. You know, the other day, there's this guy, Jim Ovia is his name. He's a former chairman of, I think he's still the current chairman of Zenith Bank. Yeah, I think so. He's still the current chairman of Zenith Bank, but he's actually the founder of Zenith Bank. So Jim Ovia has close to 10% stake, almost 10% stake in Zenith Bank as an individual. Then he has another stake in Zenith Bank that as a corporation. So Jim Ovia has probably close to 15% that he holds. Him and his company, him and his individual investment vehicle owns in Zenith Bank. You know, so I was seeing the other day, they said his dividend for just this past year was about 9 point something billion. Now, the guy is making more money today when he's not even working in the bank than when he was working in the bank. For the years he ran the bank, he never made close to the kind of money he's making now, right? But think about it. How did that happen? How long did it take for that bank to have grown and matured and it became an investment? Initially, it wasn't an investment. It was a job for him. He started it. He was working there. He was a staff there. I remember something I read a long time ago that said he washed toilets inside that bank. He learned, he washed things. He cleaned up. You know, he was working there. He said he worked 16 hours a day when he was building that bank. Today, the bank is an investment for him. He doesn't even work there. He doesn't show up there, right? So these are the things you will see with all kinds of investments. If I mention anybody or think of anybody that you know who has created great wealth, you will see that their wealth did not come overnight, right? But every other person that hasn't created that kind of wealth, what do we always think? What's the mindset? Mindset of 30 days, come and invest in this thing, you get 30% in the next 30 days. I was giving an illustration or a story a few days ago, I think on the first session I had on this series, about a guy who mobilized 381 million, about $900,000, and invested it with some people who said they would give him 30% in a month, in 30 days, last November. Okay, so he'd never thought about what he was enticed with. Oh, please give it to me. Then he went to ask people, he went to meet people. They gave him millions, 5 million, 10 million, 2 million, 5 million, just like that. They gave him lots of money. That money was not his money, but he got it from people who have this exact same mindset like him. The exact same mindset. He told them the story. He told them he was going to return 25 or 20% to them. He was going to keep the rest. In the next 30 days, they say, oh, please call the bank, bring the money. That's the mindset of the majority of people. They will not ask themselves, how come? How is that person able to give us 30% in a month? What is it doing? Can we look into it? No, they don't want to even look into it. They don't care. Please don't even tell me what you are doing as long as you can give me the money. Then tomorrow things will go wrong and you're going to be wondering what happened because you never really knew what was happening. You never knew what was happening. So when now those guys are on him, they are threatening his life. He wants to kill himself and so on and so forth. Well, think about it. Even though you say, oh, these people have been burned in all kinds of investments, yes. But why do they get bonds? Why do they even get bonds in the first place? Why do they invest in things and then the money disappears? What were they looking for? They were looking for 15% in a month, 30% in a month. You don't have to do anything. Just give us your money. We will give you this percent or that percent in a month. That's the point. Honestly, 30% or 15% is actually very mediocre returns. It's actually very low returns. It's not a big deal at all. But the point is that they want to give it to you in 30 days. In 30 days, in 20 days, in 15 days. That is what makes it a scam. Because they know that will capture the ordinary individual out there. That will capture the ordinary individual out there. When they tell you that, oh, all you need to do is give us the money in 20 days, in 30 days, in the next 3 days, you will cash out. Then you start wondering, oh, let me put money in there are people who even put money into things that they say, oh, don't worry, you cash out 200% in 24 hours. People put money in those kind of things. How do they put money in those kind of things? Because of instant gratification mindset. The truth is that when you want to evaluate any business or any investment, when you are evaluating it, the first thing you want to look at, is it promising me or guaranteeing me instant gratification? Is it guaranteeing me returns very quickly? That is the first red flag. That is one of the first red flags you will see when a business or an investment is guaranteeing you a specific amount of returns in 30 days or in 40 days, or that's when a huge returns like 30, 40% in 20 days, in 40 days. That is your first red flag. That's your first red flag that is a scheme. That's your first red flag that is a Ponzi scheme. All right. So and the thing is, it has to become a mindset. It has to become a mindset. So you tell yourself, whenever I see that kind of thing, I know that I will ask questions. I will know. I want to know. And usually when you begin to ask questions, those kind of people who are appealing to your instant gratification desire, they will ignore you. They will not answer the question you're asking. When you say, what are you doing? They will say, we are doing this. We are trading Forex. We are trading oil and gas. We are trading this one. Let me see what you are doing. They will tell you, please, it's not you we want. We're looking for people who don't ask questions. And the truth is, in Nigeria, they're everywhere. They don't ask questions. They don't ask, how come you're able to generate these returns? They don't ask questions. Because what do they need the questions for? As long as you can give me the returns, it's fine. But then they get the returns for 1 day and 2 days. The next day, their money and the returns are gone. Every time it's happening. Every time it keeps happening. But basically, the problem is instant gratification mindset. All right. So you want to be able to invest in something that is well researched. You have good, solid knowledge of what that thing is. And then you give it time. You put your money there. You give it time. You give it 6 months. You give it 1 year. Like I said, like I said earlier, I invest in cryptocurrency. And I advise people. I consult with people too in investing with cryptocurrency. I tell them, see, your approach is not 30 days. The coin you are investing in, once it's properly researched, you know that coin is going to increase. It's going to increase in 6 months. It's going to increase in 1 year. There are some coins we did last year that did returns of over 60 times. If you had only, and it did it for a long time. It did it for months. That was around May, and these 60 times I'm talking about happened around December. So would you put money into an investment, like you put $100, for example, into an investment in May, and by December that $100 turns to $5,000? Would you want to do that kind of investment? Now, of course, the truth is that it's not even guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. But then those kinds of returns are possible when you are willing to put in the work, do the research, you do the research, find good quality investments with good quality people leading those investments, and then you are willing to give it time for it to play out, give it time for it to mature, right? There are people who will invest in the real estate project. Let's say a fund management company that have they have a real estate buyers. They invest in real estate projects, for example. They could be building a hotel. They could invest in a particular hotel chain, and for years they have not made any money. And look at all the VC investors that we hear of. Oh, this multi-billionaire here. What do? They invest in projects that will take years to mature. I was watching the other day a company in Japan called SoftBank. All right. If you Google SoftBank, you see what I'm saying. SoftBank has investments. They invested in Uber. They invested in so many top tech companies that many of them are going public now. These companies have been there for years. Some of them 5 years, some of them 7 years, some of them 3 years. It is now the company that invested in them those years wants to come and cash out. And when they cash out 20 times their money. They invested $1 million, now they are getting 20 million, 30 million. That's how wealthy investors invest. They look at the value of a project long term. If you want to quickly get in now make some more money quickly, let's quickly make some money before the thing close, then you should not even be involved in that already at all. You say, oh, I need this thing. I really need. The point is this: why would you get involved in something that continues to burn you? If you've been doing this thing, if you've been investing in all these kind of things, all this while, ask yourself, sit down, do an assessment, and see, have you made money really? It's like spinning in a wheel. It's spinning around in the same circle. It's like a rat race, just spinning around, thinking that you are thinking that you are getting something, and you're really not getting anything. It's just like some people invest in something and they say, oh, we give you 30% in a month or 15% in a month. 5 months, they are still paying. The thing is still paying. 5 months, the thing is still paying. They say, oh, I've invested in this thing for the past 5 months. I've earned my 15%. Then after 6 months or so, or 7 months, the thing closes. Then you do an assessment. You realize that you did not even make back your capital in that thing. The money you put in, you did not even make it back. But then you were excited in your mind, telling everybody how this investment is so amazing, and they are paying every 30 days or every 15 days or every 2 days. But did you really make money? Look at it. You didn't make money, right? So this is it. And even if you made small money, even if you made money, it will be small money. Check it. Do it in percentage terms. You realize that it's very, very, very small money. In fact, overall, you did not even make maybe 20 or 30%. Overall, you didn't make that money. So why continue to do these kind of things? So the mindset of get rid of instant gratification mindset, that is the main thing here. If you can sit down and tell yourself, instant gratification, no, I will look for investments in the mid to long term. Cryptocurrency right now, good quality cryptocurrencies work with that. Within 6 months to 1 year, you can see very sizable returns in cryptocurrency. But then when you want to, there are other kinds of investments. Maybe you want to invest in lands, in real estate. You will need longer time. You will need to invest you need to invest in a property and live it for 5, 7, 10 years, 15 years, right? So that's for that. So there's nothing wrong with diversifying your investments. If you know how to assess businesses and you have some money that you can invest in a project, a business project, maybe a tech project or something, and then you decide to put some money there, you're going to leave it for years. There were people, the other day we had a company called Spacestack. They sold, they exited from the company, sold to another company in the US for $200 million. Some people invested in that company for 3 years and didn't take anything out until when that sale happened. When that sale happened, they cashed out big time. So that is how wealthy investors do what they are doing. All right, so this just instance, I said the 220 million real estate guy. All right, so this is actually a story I saw a few days ago. A particular guy, man, who invested in a property he invested in a property in a place called Chevron towards Island in Lagos. in Lagos, Nigeria. So he invested in a property, is on the islands, Lekki area, right? So of course, if you are in Lagos, you understand it. If you're not in Lagos, you may not get that very clearly. But then that's actually an area a lot of people want to stay right now. A lot of people a lot of people want to stay on the island, Lekki axis, Lekki phase 1 and all of those things, Lekki phase 2, and even all the environs around Lekki, people want to go there. So property prices there appreciate pretty quickly. All right. So now this guy invested in a property many years ago. In fact, 15 years ago. Okay, 15 years ago, he bought a particular land in an estate, in Lagos that time. So that land, he actually planned to build a house on it, but he didn't. You know, this man wants to sell this land right now. The land is the only place there that is not developed. The land, he didn't say exactly how much he bought it, but of course, that time, 15 years ago, now, the land would not be that expensive. Yes, you can make a projection and say, okay, there's no way that land could have been up to 10 million naira. The land is not that, it's like 1.5 plots or so. There's no way he could have invested more than 10 million on that land at that time. It's not possible. But the asking price for that land now, he was talking with a real estate person. He wants to sell the property for him. I think that was actually 3 days ago or so. The land is going for 220 million naira. That is the least he's planning to sell it. He's not interested in fact, he was saying that is the real estate guy was like, oh, let's convince him a little to reduce it a bit. But he's not going to sell that land anything less than 200 million. A land, not house. 220 million naira. That is how investors invest. Even in the company he worked for. Which company will he work for that will give him retirement package of 220 million? Which company will he work for that as he's leaving, he will get 220 million? How? Right? So that's it. Even there are people who worked at top management level in banks. I think when I say top management level, I mean executive director. Executive director who will not walk away with the 200 million package. Executive director, not any other level. Executive director, or maybe executive director in an oil company and so on, that will walk away with a 200 million naira package after all the pay, all the years. So, but this is how real investors invest. So, guys, let's look at this very well. Think about it and begin to see how can you put this into practice, because it's very, very important to have the mindset of get rid of instant gratification. But when you tell yourself, I want to, you will only begin to sort investments based on long-term and quality. Based on quality and long-term. Because you know the quality is going to come in the long term. There's no way you can build it, even if it's a business you're investing in. There's no way you can invest in a business that will become very big in 3 months. In 3 months, in 1 month, in 2 months. No way. No way. You know, so there is no way short-term thinking ever works. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You know.